Well, the folks in our next story know all about hard work. Earl and Dorothy Oman have a passion for spinning wheels. They love the painstaking process that transforms wool into thread, and they're a perfect match. He makes the spinning wheels, she puts them to work. The sound of a spinning wheel gently turning is one of those delicate rhythms that the human ear finds incredibly soothing. The steady rotation and cadence of the spinning wheel has become an important part of Dorothy and Earl Oman's lives. Dorothy became fascinated with the spinning wheel after a trip to Sweden. Upon returning home, she took some lessons on the wheel and now spends hours feeding wool into her wheel. Meanwhile, husband Earl started to take a closer look at those wheels. Being a woodworker, he decided to find out how they work and whether he could build one himself.
First one I made I didn't like, and so I made some improvements on them, and I tried following some pattern and made one from the pattern, and I didn't like that. So I started looking at pictures of the antique wheels and even going to museums and taking measurements and photographs of antique wheels, and I managed to get together what I thought was a good combination of various features that I liked, and I've gotten them down to 3 different patterns here, and I follow each one pretty much the same as I make each one.
Earl has had a lot of practice building spinning wheels over the last few years. Now he turns out one of the 3 models he makes on a regular basis, as well as decorative miniatures that, yes, actually spin. Like proud parents, Earl and Dorothy keep track of everywhere their spinning wheels have landed.
We have a loom and a spinning wheel in Alaska. We have one of the small wheels in Sweden. A relative of mine was over several years ago, and we sent home a small wheel with them. Wheel in Colorado, a wheel in the state of Washington, California, and Texas, I believe.
The spinning wheel, as we recognize it today, traces its history back to Europe in the 1200s. By American colonial times, the spinning wheel was carefully refined and as common in homes as sewing machines are today. In fact, the spinning wheel was often passed down from one household to another, one generation to the next. It's a tradition that continues today.
A lot of spinning wheels have been handed down. A lot of people who have a family wheel are very proud of their wheels. My grandmother had her wheel, my dad's mother, but no one was interested at the time, so she gave it to a neighbor. And I tracked it down, but I haven't been able to take any pictures or anything of it, which I'd like to do.
While Earl has great respect for the skilled craftsmen who created the spinning wheels of the past, he has no reservations about using modern methods to arrive at the same end. The simple fact remains that building a well-made spinning wheel, one of sturdy construction and finely crafted parts, remains a very exacting art.
You start out with a certain part, the next part has to fit the first part, and so forth. And so it does not have interchangeable parts, of course. That's the difference between factory built and craftsmanship, I suppose. Many of the wheels that we see being used are made, are factory produced, and some are made in Canada, I think, some in Australia, and these wheels do not have the wood turning on them that you would see in wheels like this. I'm sure they're made well, and they have a nice finish on it, but of course, preferring my own, I just say that these wheels do not have character.
Every time Earl finishes a spinning wheel, Dorothy takes it for a test spin before it's sold or given away. Dorothy says it takes time to learn the rhythm and feel the coordination between hands and feet, fiber and wheel. But once you experience it, she says spinning takes on a hypnotic effect.
It does have a very therapeutic effect. Mm-hmm. It's real nice when you're uptight and you want to unwind. It's a real good way of doing it.
For Earl, the sound of his machines working and the feel of a good tool in his hands are therapy enough, although he has tried his hand at spinning.
I can spin, but I'm not good at it. I spin more rope than yarn, I think, yeah.
It's a pretty amazing concept when you think about it. Amazing that this simple machine has been twisting animal and plant fibers into thread for nearly 800 years. It's also nice to know that there's a couple in Proctor, Minnesota, that's not about to let us forget about the spinning wheel.
You just can't replace the personal touch that comes with a handmade sweater or scarf, and the Omans really appreciate that.